All right, the audio is on and rocking. It is time to get this party started. Yeah. All right. What's up, kids? How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, Kitty. Hey, Palmetto, South Georgia. Jay Walker. Bandanagramma. All right.
Tall
Oak Farms.
Cool.
I don't know
Thanks,
if I've
guys.
seen you before.
I think
Hi.
we have. Yeah, I think we have.
Simply Circus. Hey, guys. I was told that Simply Circus, who was I talking to? I was talking to a channel today, and they said Simply Circus is incredibly gifted artists.
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
Very cool. I want to check that out, and I will check that out. Oh, yes, I will. Patrick, how's it going, Rain Country, everybody? Right. Brad and Krista, did Grace get a card from Maddie? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm gonna move this camera.
That was very, very kind. Thank you so much. All right. Howdy, Gregory. How's it going, Tina? Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Back to you, Renee.
Oh, now I screwed it up.
Yes, you did. Okay.
I'm good at that. I'm messing up the camera.
All right. So here's the scoop. For those of you who don't know, tonight is a tech talk. We depart from our homesteading ways because I've been a nerd for most of my life.
Yep.
I know how to do recording with audio and video. I've had recording studios where I owned them. I've had video production companies, and while I do not know everything, I will tell you what I do know. Technology, one thing, guys, just so you're aware, it moves so fast that if you went to college to get a degree in video production today, by the time you went from year 1 to year 4, a lot of it would be completely different. Yeah. So you've got to keep up on it if you're going to, well, keep up. However, there are certain things, and we try to stay with the generalities here because everybody's software is different that's out there. Everybody's audio recording software is different. Your cameras and your mics are different. So I don't try to say this is exactly how you work with this and that, because you're gonna need to work with what you have, and so we try to stick with the generalities of basic video production. So,
not my cup of tea.
Well, she's here because she's frankly a lot better looking than I am.
Oh, whatever.
It's true. And
I can field questions.
She helps me with the questions and helps with a lot of stuff. However, I am the nerd, and it's easy to go, "Hey, Joe Bohr, I know you. What's up, my friend?"
Hey, Joe.
That just so you guys know, Joe Bohr 1776 is an incredible guitar player. This dude is a rock star. He's so good he doesn't even know it. It's silly.
Nope.
How you like me now?
Miss you guys.
Yeah, we do miss you guys.
Yep.
And actually, Joe Bohr 1776's son, well, he's got more than one, but one of his sons makes Lego stop animation videos that are really, really cool.
They are really cool. What's the name of his?
Well, share your channel.
Joel, what's the name of his channel?
Yeah,
I forget.
Because he makes these videos that are crazy. You take one video still image, and then you move the stuff. It's just like claymation back in the day. Yeah. All right. Question from Doc. What do we got there?
What do you do when you discover snakes in the studio?
Oh, snakes in the studio? Napalm. So anyway, Joe Bohr 1776, that is also the name of his Lego stop animation channel. Okay. And I challenge you to go check it out. He's a young adult, and he makes these really cool movies.
He's in 7th grade.
I can't believe that. I can't
believe it. Nice.
So, all right. We've got some topics we're going to discuss today. See, there's the show. There it is.
I think you just started 8th grade.
Maybe. Joe, no, 1777.
No, yeah, it's 1777. Joe Bohr 1777 is his son's Lego stop animation channel.
Which is really, really cool. Yeah. So I wanted to start out, once again, this is tech stuff, guys. So If you're here just to have fun and chat, that's fine.
Yep.
But just understand we're not talking homesteady stuff tonight. That's saved for Sunday night.
Yep.
All right. I wanted to talk a little bit about audio. Because here's the thing. I don't care how good your video is. If you don't have good audio, people, they don't like it. They don't communicate that way. If you got garbage audio, people won't watch your videos. They just won't.
Right.
Because they're there to either be entertained or educated, right? And so neither of those two things can happen if you don't have good audio. And so I wanted to start out not assuming anything. Thank you, Big Bear. I do appreciate that. See, there you go. That's the kind of folks we got.
Right.
On the ball. People will tolerate bad video as long as they've got something they can hear that's good. Now, first of all, this talk's going to come from the standpoint of I am going to assume you know nothing about this, how digital audio works, because it's all pretty much digital now anyway. And for those of you who don't know, digital literally means the computer shreds it up into zeros and ones and writes out this long, massive code. And this long, massive code actually gets pieced back together and shakes the speaker so that it vibrates your eardrum and your brain interprets it as audio. Okay? Now, the first thing that you need to know is this. A CD. If you buy a CD, it's going to have this kind of sampling rate. Well, you say, what the heck is a sampling rate, Brad? The way that computers deal with it, yes, you're right, Mike. You're right. The way that computers deal with it is they shred it up into tiny little smidgens, and they take little individual like snapshots of what's happening. Okay? Here's the thing. A CD, if you're listening to a CD, it is sampled at 44,100 individual snapshots every second. Okay? Every second, there's 44,100 individual snapshots taken. That gives you the overall quality of what you're listening to. Now, most modern recordings, yeah, clutch. I love clutch. Okay, 50,000 unstoppable watts. Sorry, you just got me squirreled. Most recordings now, if you go to a professional recording studio, they don't do this number anymore. They do this number. There are 96,000 individual snapshots or samples that are taken every second. This statistic works along with another statistic. It's called your bit rate. Okay? A bit rate, if you can think of the snapshots as kind of like the way a picture looks, like if you look at a picture, the sample or the bit rate is just how vivid all the colors are. They're two different statistics that work together that give you the quality of audio. Now, why am I telling you this? Because you need to know this before you understand this. And I'm going to show you a picture. In the computer, guys, this is what audio looks like currently today in the modern world. You see those little lines that go up and down? This is called an audio wave. Now, it looks like kind of like a wave. That's why they called it that. It really doesn't have anything to do with actual literal ocean waves at all. What it does have to do with is this. The peaks and valleys, as those things go up and down, you're getting information, or the computer is, about the snapshot of the sample, how loud it is, how intense it is, yada yada, yippee skippy, okay? This is a normal looking audio wave. Any program that you deal with these days, that's what it's going to look like. Okay? You've got amplitude, it gets louder as it goes up. Here, let me show you again. As it's so like, it's hard to describe that. Like first little piece there, that might be something that sounds like, hey, and then, hey.
Right.
So you see how it gets bigger and louder like that? And then there's a pause, and then it moves on. Those little pauses are silence between it, or near silence, okay? Now, I'm telling you all this for a reason, and this is building a foundation, okay? Okay, I thought it was frequency, Leah says. No, it is not. It's amplitude. Peaks and troughs. Good way to put that, Minutemen. Absolutely. What does the difference in color mean? Okay, let me put this back up. The green is the actual audio signal that's going up and down, up and down, up and down. And then the rest of, well, there is frequency measured in there, but it's not, that's not what we need to get to right now. Understand that you're talking about amplitude right now. The green is your audio signal, and then that graph looking thing is a way to measure it.
I think he's talking about the lighter green at the top of the peaks.
That just means it's not as intense.
Yeah, that's what
it's not as intense. Hey, Grandpa. Okay, so that is a normal audio wave. That is what you're going to look at when you go to edit in a video editing program. They're going to show you how that works. That's how audio is dealt with. So, for example, if you wanted to cut, let's just say this. I'm bringing this back up again. If the, okay, you got on the left-hand side, you got a big wave, and then a big wave and a big wave, 3 of them, and then there's like a gap, okay? That gap might be when somebody stopped talking, if you were talking about a dialogue, okay? So you could cut in that gap and edit in a way that's not going to be cutting off words. That's why this is important to know. Peaks and valleys. Amplitude is how low the peaks. That's correct. Read what Palmetto Paratrooper's saying.
Amplitude is how high or low the peaks and valleys are. Frequency is how many peaks there are in a certain amount of time.
That is correct.
Left to right.
That is correct.
I know you said it before, but what editing program do you use?
Rain, I use Premiere Pro. And there are links when the stream is done. There are links down below so you can find out more about it and or look at it, whatever. Dude, this is getting scary. Do you see the EVPs in the signal? Okay. Well, the reason why I have to set all of this up and have you understand how waveforms work is so that you can understand not how to screw them up. Because I'm going to show you right now. Here is, oh, there's Daisy. Daisy's photo bombing back there.
Oh, nice. There's
This
a kid.
Hello, child. This is, okay, this is a waveform that is been turned up so stinking loud that it is now in what we call clipping, okay? Do you see how the waveform looks normal, and then it's just got that straight line left to right? That means that whatever signal was put into there was far too loud and now is distortion. It goes from sounding like normal, good speech to it sounds horrible. Yes, yeah, the square, yeah, it's clipping, okay? And you don't want to do that because it's back in the recording days when you had magnetic tape, like reel-to-reels and stuff. You could get away with distorting it out just a little bit, and it actually made a sound that sounded really nice. And it's actually still very sought after, okay? And it gives a very rounded sound where now, if you go above a certain level, it just makes a disgusting, nasty, it sounds broken, wrong sound. So, what are those levels? Okay, here's the thing, and this is why I needed to get to here. It goes from like negative way down up to 0. It goes from way down low up to 0. So if your recording goes above 0, then you are clipping and it sounds disgusting. Now, That means that when you're using your camera, guys, if it's just slamming that peak all the time and there's still more signal going above it, you're going to distort it out. It's going to sound horrible and nobody's going to want to watch that. So that's how we get to there. Now, so clipping is bad. Here's the visual of clipping again. That sounds like booty.
Grandma said that looks like a UPC code.
Yes, it does look like a UPC code. It is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the square reminds me of our old neighbor lady.
Nice.
How's your foot, by the way? Your ankle?
Hope you're better.
So, but by the same token, guys, you don't want to send too little of audio into your signal either. If you're like, oh, I don't want to distort my signal, so I turn my audio way down, what's going to happen is you're going to be recording a lot of noise. Okay? Because if you're only giving it this amount of signal, but it has this much room from 0 to, or from -100 or wherever you're at, to 0, you're recording a bunch of noise, okay? So you need to find a happy medium where you're in the 80% range when your meters are going up and down, right? That's kind of where you want to live, the 80% range, so that you're not distorting, but you're also not too quiet that you're recording just a bunch of noise. Does that make sense? You guys, is this making sense, or do I need to rephrase how I'm doing this? Because I understand if you don't know this, it's new. It's weird.
Yeah.
So anybody, yes, no, maybe, what we got?
I mean, I've been listening to you talk about this for 20 some years, and it still doesn't make sense to me. But
yeah, but you're not
audio.
into it. Yes, no, maybe. I think this can be used in forensic analysis. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, Leah. Good, thank you. I don't do the audio. I get it. Awesome. Thank you.
Do the audio. Okay, good.
Okay.
Hi, Robin.
Hey, Robin. Okay, so that's the thing. The reason why you need to know that is threefold. First of all, don't record too quiet. Don't record too loud. And then when you're looking at your waveforms, when you're in your recording program, your editing software, what you need to do is look for those valleys. That's where you cut. That's where you cut, because you're not going to cut off words, right? Okay? Doc. Clipping in the musical instrument sound change of the speaker can be coveted. Clipping in the recorder, not so much. Well, yes, but that could get confusing. And I actually talked about that a little bit in the past, because magnetic tape recordings, when you push them really hard, they actually give you a really pleasant sound that's very coveted, but no more. In the digital world, it just sounds like it's horrible. Okay. Okay. Cool. So now, levels. I want to talk just a little bit about, what was that? I've never seen that before.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay. Audio. How can you make the difference between good audio and the difference between a good and bad video is audio? I agree, and I said that before you actually came on, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing. How do you take what you've got? Because I understand that a lot of people have way different gear. You may be making videos on a phone. You may be making videos on a good camera. You may be making videos on a bad camera. Well, what do you do? Okay. Oh, I just got Minecrafted. Cool. Never had that happen before. It feels weird. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, we're not Minecraft people, so.
As I pensively stroke my beard. Hey, Juanita. Okay.
Dab is a type of dance.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
So you can be recording on anything, and you can actually make your audio a lot better with a very few amount of tweaks. Mm-hmm. And that's really where I wanted to get. And I'm sorry that it took 20 minutes to get there, but I had to explain how this works, or else you won't understand the next part. Yeah. Okay? So the next part is compression. Does anybody out there know what compression is in audio? Because if you do, you're probably in the 5% of the crowd. And compression can take okay audio and make it a lot better. So, anybody? I'm kind of just waiting to see. Because compression is not how you stop a wound from bleeding when you're talking about audio. Anyone? Timothy does. Timothy does. I want to show you some stuff. I'm going to get to it, but I think I'm going to have to describe it, then show you, then see if we all got it. No mic for it. Compression removes noise. That's not true at all. It does not. Compression does not remove noise. It is where the audio gets compressed. Wow, Big Bear. That's amazing. Dude.
We need to chat.
Okay.
Not really.
What a compressor does, guys. Okay, if you've got, and I got to do it, let me see if I can show you. If you've got audio levels that are low here and high here, let's say that you talk really quiet sometimes, and then you and it gets really loud. You've got a big dynamic range. It goes from here to here, right? It's a humongous dynamic range. What a compressor does is it takes this humongous range, and instead of leaving it at humongous range, it goes, no, instead of this big range, you're going to have from here to here. So what it does is it takes your levels, your low levels, and your high levels, and says, okay, this is your dynamic range. Sorry, I'm trying to look at the thing and do it. If this is your dynamic range, how you recorded it, it says, this is really your dynamic range now. So it takes the low levels and brings them up, and your high levels and brings them down, so that you have a very controllable audio signal, okay? That's the thing, guys. It's not about noise. It's about taking a humongous dynamic range and squishing it down so I can move it where I want it in the mix, okay? And what that does is it makes it so that if somebody's talking really quiet, all of a sudden, it brings that signal up. But if somebody's really boisterous and loud, it'll bring that signal down, so that you can actually have an audio dialogue or a drum hit or a guitar line or a vocal line that makes it so that you can hear everything that you want them to hear, but it's not too loud and it's not too quiet. Because in our videos, guys, Mike, it's not filters, and it's about dynamics. It's about dynamics. Okay? And I'm going to show you. I'm going to literally show you visually. It's it basically, it compresses the audio so that you can control your dynamic better. And I'm going to show you this, okay? You know what a waveform looks like now, okay? I'm going to show you this. This came from my video editing software today. And look to the bottom there, down at the bottom, you've got a waveform. You see my video of that incredibly handsome, amazing looking guy.
Yes.
I can't even describe how I feel right now. My emotions can't contain me. So
nice.
Right.
Nice gridless.
Tooling. We'll get back to that. But you see how the waveform looks good. I'm not clipping out, but you've got some high levels and you've got some low levels, right? Well, I have that in that white box there. I called up a compressor. And so what it does, like I said before, it controls your dynamics. So what I did, I slapped a compressor on it, and then notice what it did to this waveform. You see how that's all a lot more on a same line for your peaks? It brought the lows up, brought the highs down, and so I can control it to where it sounds a lot better. Okay? It's not a trash compactor. No, I see
Well,
you.
but I understand what she's trying to get at. It's bringing the high levels down, except with a compressor you bring up the lows as well. So it's
But
kind of squishing it in the middle.
but it's not frequency, guys.
No.
It's not like the highs and the lows. It's dynamics. Yeah. And the reason why it's so important is because you can make an okay audio track sound really, really good, like professional. Like when you're listening to the radio, you ever wonder why it just sounds Sunday, 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 blah, 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 it'll tear your face off, monster truck rally. And you can tell that guy's practically yelling, right?
Yes.
But it doesn't, it's exactly the same volume the whole time. Brad needs to cut back in the moringa. Okay. But, hey, Brad, waiting for your show. You're on another tab. Sorry. Hey. So what it does is it reduces those peaks, brings up the valleys, and makes it all sound better. And the reason why is because you can hear every little nuance. Is that making sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Is it making sense to you? And the way that you do it is you can control all of the settings of full spectrum. Hey, full spectrum survival, dudes. We are getting ready to do something with full spectrum survival real soon. And actually, all of you guys out there, prayers down for them. They live in Southwest Florida, and they are probably getting hammered right now with a tropical storm, guys. So please pray for them. Yeah, there's a lot of Brads in
There's
one
a lot
house.
of Brads. What's going on?
Whole lot of Brads. And actually, full spectrum survival, his name's Brad too.
Oh, no way.
Whole lot of Brads.
Oh,
Whole lot of
man.
Bradleys.
Oh,
Yeah,
one's enough.
makes sense. But how do we make that happen? JM. Okay. In almost every video editing program, they give you audio, what they call plugins. They're called plugins, which means not like the thing you stick in the wall that makes your house smell good. No, it means that you have like an effect that you can put in the chain of your audio, okay? So when you do that, you can adjust the compression of the audio track. I personally use Adobe Premiere Pro, and it's got a suite of plugins that are built in, that all you do is you go click, and 99% of the time it works really great. You don't have to mess with the settings. I, however, know how to mess with the settings, but if you want to, you can mess with the settings. You can make it sound like that total radio voice, blah, 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 Sunday, 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 where it's just so hyped and loud. And you can make it sound like that, but I don't. The reason, guys, I use compression pretty much on every video is because I use audio like music in a lot of our videos. And what you got to do, if you're going to use music, there's a lot of channels that don't use music, but if you use music, you have to make sure that there's a huge difference between your dialogue and the music. People have to be able to hear every word you're saying. And I will even add this. There are a lot of folks who watch my videos who are hard of hearing. Mm-hmm. And if they can't hear it properly, they bounce you. They're gone. They don't listen to it. Right. Because it's very confusing and upsetting to them because they can't understand a thing you're saying, right? So if you're going to use music while you're using a dialogue, number one, compress it. Use the compressor. And they're built into almost every video program. Most people just don't know that it's already there. And number two, make sure that you can understand every word, guys. Yeah, hey, Grandpa, that's funny. What'd you say? The way that I actually decide whether or not I can hear it very well. Because here's the thing, if you're making a video, guys, if you're making a video and you've filmed all this stuff and you sat down with the music and the audio and you've sat there and you've labored over this for hours or whatever you've done, right? You can kind of get blind to the fact that you know what's there because you did it and you've been working with it for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours.
Right.
But the people that are viewing it have only viewed it once.
True.
And you've got to be very, very careful that you don't assume wrongly in that you've been sitting there working with it. So you're kind of blind to the fact that you know what you watched for a bunch. You saw it. But the people viewing it, this is the first time they're seeing it, even though you've watched it 100 times.
Jason's asking, couldn't you just turn the music down?
Jason, you can do that. The problem is compression is so much better because it brings up those subtleties and takes out the peaks. Yes, you probably do need to turn the music down some, but you also still need to compress. That's really important.
Right. Please talk about making a voiceover on top of background noises you want heard, mixing food, pouring liquid, etc.
Okay.
Balancing it.
Okay. And that's a tough one because if you're making recipe videos, which we do, guys, right. Okay, there's always a balance between the sound of the mixer going woo, and it's so loud, and then you talking and it's quiet. You're going to have to actually plan it out. You have to plan it out because you can turn your volumes up and down, but that's not going to fix the intelligibility of the track. You could try to talk over the sound of the mixer, but it's just going to clip. Remember? Here, it's just going to clip like that. So your mixer is going to be that middle part there, and everything you're trying to say is going to be completely not understandable. So you've got to be very careful in that either turn it down or do your dialogue later. You can always record the dialogue later.
Okay, Jason says, I don't understand. If you compress, wouldn't that level the music and your voice to the same level?
No. Okay.
No, because you're...
No, what you got to understand, Jason, is you're not compressing the music with the dialogue at the same time. They're on different tracks.
Yeah.
You got your music on one track and you got your dialogue on another track. You can compress this one and not compress this one because when it was recorded, they already did that.
Right.
Okay? So you can level this out a little bit lower and make sure this is compressed because you haven't done that yet. Okay? Oh, well, yeah. Okay. Curious Yellow Solar. Been a sound tech for 20 years. Make sure you don't overuse it. Yes, that is absolutely correct.
Right.
And an example of that, guys, is like when you hear something and it's just everything's just slammed to the roof, and it's just like it almost makes your head want to hurt. Actually, the way I describe over compression is, you ever have one of those sinus headaches and it just throbs? That's the way I describe over compression. It just is like pounds in your head. And over compression, it's just as bad as not using it at all.
Right.
You can use compression and get the dynamic range that you want where it just sounds great. But don't overdo it, because if you do, it just sounds like you got a sinus headache.
Yeah.
Hello, Rusty Acre. All right, so I saw, what did JM say? She said something about Big Bear. I don't understand. Okay. Did that make sense with the difference between the tracks? With making sure that track 1 is your dialogue, track 2, you keep them separate, and that's how you can compress this and not mess with that. That way, the bottom line, guys, is you really have to be in control of your levels. And
right.
And you don't want all of a sudden something just going super loud and walking over the top of your dialogue and nobody can understand you.
Right, right.
Right?
Yeah.
That would be a second track. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, in every video editing software that I know, you can actually what they call keyframing, which means I can turn down an audio track at certain points and turn it up at certain points, guys. And the reason why you'll want to do that is because, well, for example, in my videos, I usually have like my intro thing where it's the Big Family Homestead logo. Then I talk for a little bit and there's no music going.
Right.
Then I do a title screen, but right there, between when I'm done talking and the title screen comes up, I will play my music. Okay, I'll start a music track and it'll be nice and loud so that it's the same level as my voice in dialogue. Then, right before I start talking again, when the logo is done or the intro is done, I'll turn it down so that it's underneath my dialogue. It's still there, but you can hear my dialogue clearly. Does that make sense? Okay.
How many tracks can you do in one video?
Like audio tracks or video tracks, red and
Probably
white?
audio, I would imagine.
I will wait and see what they're asking because it depends on your system.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It depends on your system.
Now, someone had asked earlier, is Adobe Premiere Premiere Pro the monthly subscription? And
Unfortunately,
yes, unfortunately
it is now.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can.
red and white
Audio.
Okay. Truthfully, it depends on the. I apologize in advance, guys.
Tracks.
No, I'm going to curse right now. Badassness of your computer. How badass is your computer?
Close your ears.
If you got one of those Mac Pros, you're never going to see the end of the tracks. If you got something you built that's a PC that's badass, you're never going to see the end of the tracks. If you have an okay computer, you're going to run out of tracks. I do. Well, it's not a band, Mama. It's a great record.
Oh, whatever.
Unbelievable record.
Okay, computer. I thought it was the name of the band.
Right. So the thing is this. It depends on how awesome your computer is. Yes, Grandpa's Farm. It wasn't the Bible.
We're not talking about donkeys here.
Right. It depends on how awesome your computer is because everything has its limit. Whether it's video tracks, whether it's audio tracks, it really does matter. Yeah, no, running out on my Raspberry Pi. You're correct. Badassness is a word. I'm sorry, Doc. You're wrong. Oh, is even a word? No, it's true. It's true. You know.
Okay, what compression ratio do you typically use?
Okay, Timothy Walker. Now, here's the thing. That's a tricky question, believe it or not, because it depends on what signal you put into the compressor. If you put in a weak signal, you're going to be compressing noise. Typically, I use a 2-to-1 compression ratio around negative 15 dB to start with. And when you start playing around with this, guys, I know it sounds like Greek to you now, but when you see it and you play with it, you'll understand it. But that's what I do, and that's where I start, and then I'll tweak it because it's got to sound right no matter what I did. Okay, with the keyframes for the same audio keyboard shortcut, question mark. I don't understand what he's asking.
With the keyframes for audio, same keyboard shortcut?
You're going to have to press that one out for me, Big Bear. Tilt, 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 Greek to me. I get it. I'm sorry. And yeah. Guys, this is a lot to learn. You know, I've been doing this since I've been 15, 12.
Yeah.
And trust me, I am no longer 12. All right.
He's 14.
Yeah, well, not in maturity, but I mean, yes, in maturity. So, all right, daggone, it's 8:40, and we've talked for about 20 minutes on compression.
Yeah,
I'm not going to get to everything.
We'll save it for next week.
OK computers. Since we are low budget right now with an OK computer, do you what
recommend?
editor do you private message me, The Joy of Family, and I will be happy to talk to you about what it is that you have and what you can do.
Right.
Amen. Since 5T for me. Gotcha.
All right. Jason says, do I use P to set the keyframes in audio?
Okay, he's asking about a specific program, and he uses the same one I do, which is Adobe Premiere Pro. And P is the quick key to bring up our pen tool. You need to talk to me later. This is too specific for this, and I'll be happy to tell you. Okay, Timothy, 14 from me.
Oh man, I've got to figure out what defines bad A for computer.
JM, you call me and I'll tell you what is bad nonsense for computers.
Right.
Farmer Meemaw, I love y'all, but she's got the runs. That's terrible. She's got the runs. It's horrible.
Don't listen to him. Bye, Farmer Meemaw.
Okay, bye, Meemaw. Were there any other questions that I missed before we move on? Because I want to actually get to some other.
Okay, Liver Lady says, I understand the principles. I've edited in Audible.
Audible, which I
But
understand.
Movie Maker is really below my skills.
Okay, so there's no question in there.
Oh, sorry. I thought there was a question.
Okay,
Sorry.
there's no question in there. So basic audio stuff. I'm in the same boat as Liver Lady. In Minuteman, just so you guys know, I really like Minuteman already because his channel icon is General George Patton.
Nice.
And
I can't see it.
Talking about badassness.
Oh yes.
Just saying, throwing that out there. General George Patton is one of the people who literally saved the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you don't know who he is, look it up.
Right.
We're not sure how to improve. Okay.
He said.
You might as well be speaking. Wow.
Nice. Yeah.
What is the monthly cost of a program? I'm guessing.
Adobe Premiere Pro.
I actually don't know, Bumblebee, and the reason why is because we homeschool.
We got it at a deal.
So we got the teachers and homeschoolers discount, which was cheap. See, no, hold on, but that's not. No, it was. It's $199 a year, but it's not just for Premiere Pro. It's for everything they make. Photoshop and Dreamweaver and all of the other 50 programs they make. It's for everything.
Right.
Okay.
We mispronounced. It's Liber Lady.
Sorry, Liber.
So sorry.
Didn't know.
I was thinking it was like.
I thought it was Liberty.
Lady, but.
Sorry. Okay. Did not mean.
Yeah.
Did not mean. Okay. After Effects, and yes, you get After Effects too, which is hilarious. Yes, I don't understand why.
And make sure you don't make your
main videos in After Effects. For some reason, Big Bear just hates himself, and he thinks that making videos in After Effects is going to make him like Lucasfilm, and it's just not. It's just not. It's just going to take freaking forever. They should call it Forever Effects.
Yeah. All right, Grandpa said that he got Premiere Pro on a deal for $29 a month for the bundle.
What? That's awesome.
That's not a bad deal.
No, that's a great deal. But it's still a better deal to get every program they make if you qualify for certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How do you say in liberty in German? I believe that's interesting. It's been funny. Yeah. Okay. So actually, the funny thing is that I spent so much time talking about compression and audio. I don't know how much more I can get into here. Okay, I'm going to switch gears because we're getting ready to go on. Patton would have made a good Marine. Amen, Woody. Amen, sir. Hats off to you, my friend. Oh, cool. Sub to you, Minuteman. Grandpa's Farm, CS6. Yes. Now, we are getting ready to go over to Grandpa's Farm in a mere pittance of 15 minutes and change. But before we do, I wanted to actually talk a little bit about a different subject, which if you are a content creator, which I'm assuming we are content creators, that is very important, guys. Very, very important. And that's having your own website. And if you don't have your own website, I don't make websites for anybody except me, but I can help you figure out what you need to do. And you can always private message me. I answer every one. But I wanted to give you guys a few tips on stuff that can improve your website when you got one, because you need to have a website. I don't care if it's just for information. I do not care if it's literally one page, okay? You gotta have a website. And so I wanted to tell you about a few things while I got the embers of this program on how you can make your website better. And one of them is this guy right here, bam, the hello bar. I hope you're seeing the hello bar. What the hello bar is this. Now, if you guys are not already subscribed, email injected, involved with the Homestead Network, open up a new tab in your browser right now and go to thehomesteadnetwork.com. Hit enter, and up at the very top, see my eyes?
Right below his eyeballs.
Right below my eyeballs. You see my eyeballs? Right here.
Looks like you're trying to peek over the fence.
It does look like I'm peeking over the fence. The Homestead Network, right there is where you're going to put in your email address so that we can connect with you. That's not why I'm actually telling you to do this. I want you to do that because I want to be connected with you. But the reason why you're seeing that is because of this. The hello bar is a website, guys, for you that can gather emails. Yeah, Kilroy, funny, totally BC.
He looks like Wilson from Home Improvement.
Yeah, totally. But it gathers emails for you and lets you use them in a way that is very easy. Doesn't cost you a penny, and it gathers those emails. You can plug it into just about any kind of website, right? And that is huge. Mm-hmm. Because when you've got people that really like your website, they want to be involved, right? So if you can do like a weekly, I'm not talking like Justin Rhodes, like every day, every 5 minutes, but if you could do like a weekly, I'm going to send you an email, why not?
Right.
People want to be involved with you. Right. They were there on purpose. Mm-hmm. Now, don't overdo it.
Right.
Don't overdo it. De Jesus. All right. So that is one tip that I wanted to make sure you guys saw, is the hello bar for your website. Another tip is this, and you guys know, if you don't know, I'm out of work right now, and we've got issues with money. So I'm sorry for the next 5 seconds. It's a commercial. It's straight up a commercial. If you don't have hosting, look at Bluehost. It helps us out. And the commercial, okay? There's a link in the thing below. How about that? Done. Really helps us out, but whatever. Okay, another tip, guys. Thank you, Mike. And by the way, guys, Palmetto Paratrooper, who you know and love, is joining the Homestead Network.
You didn't give me that update.
I actually emailed you today.
There was no time on it.
I was dropped on my head too much as a kid. Anyway,
I need a memo.
Let's just say the Palmetto Paratrooper could do damage in many, many, many ways.
You sent me an email, and I'm just in the other room.
I had to, but he's joining the Homestead Network, and I'm excited about it. And if you're not a subscriber to Palmetto Paratrooper, well, first of all, get something very, very clean. Wash your hands before you click on it, because there's no telling what's going to happen when you go over to his channel. Love you, bro. I had to do something, right? So anyway, Palmetto Paratrooper, make sure you check them out.
They're moving to their new farm tomorrow.
Who is?
Squirrel. DeJesus.
Cool, DeJesus.
Family Farm and Nursery. I'm so excited for you guys.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Now, one other tip, because we only got 9 minutes and change, but don't forget about Palmetto Paratrooper, right? Yes, wow is right. What's the Bluehost fees? I don't want to get into pricing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Just
I
check it
don't
out,
know.
guys. It does help us out, but if it's not a good deal, don't do it.
Right.
Just don't do it.
Don't do it just to help us out. Do
No,
it
because if you
like
need it
Right.
and you
If
like
you
it.
need it and you like it, then do it. But
The
yeah.
other thing that is very important for, oops, that's not the wrong, that's not it. Oh, I messed up.
Oh, snap.
Oh, I messed up. Dang gone.
Clipping? Maybe?
No, it's MailChimp. I wanted to tell you guys for your websites, um, MailChimp, MailChimp, is a free service, guys, that can organize your email campaigns for your website. Now, once again, hear me out. Do not abuse people. You guys know how you want to be dealt with. You don't want to get 50 billion emails or an email a day from some stupid website. But if you're interested in somebody, you do want to get one like a week. You want to find out what they're doing. You want to know and you want to support.
Right.
Great. This is a way that you can actually, for free, blast out emails up to I think it's 2,000 emails all at once.
Wow.
For no fee. You can put in pictures, you can put in media, you can do all that stuff, and it doesn't cost you a penny. And I thought I had a picture here, and I'm sorry, but it's called, once again, Mail, M-A-I-L, Chimp, like monkey, CHIMP.com. And so I wanted to share those with you to help you guys improve your websites. So I'm trying to see what I got left that's not going to be more than 7 minutes and change. So, because we're all going to go over to Grandpa's farm, and you guys need to be at least as ornery with him as you are with me, because if you're being ornery with me and not him, that's just not fair. Is there a question?
Is there still an opportunity to hire your webmaster friend from the UK?
Yes. He's a good guy. Totally a good guy. I think he does websites that are kind of more, how do I say, commercially driven, but he absolutely does any kind of website. However, and I don't mean to sound like a dork, but I'm going to say this, guys. You don't need to spend a lot of money on a website. You really don't.
No.
And
we don't have a lot
while
of
I want to support them, the reality is this: most people don't need to spend the money on a webmaster.
Right.
For us, you could get a WordPress site, or even, what is it, Weebly. There's a few things. It's only usually businesses that need commercial applications that actually need to spend money on a website. Right. Most of us who just make soap or whatever, you don't need to do that. You absolutely don't need to do that. WordPress is not hard. There's a billion videos on YouTube. Oh, and Wix. Yeah, Wix is good. Question for you guys. I figured out in the software that I use for the streaming how to do screen captures while I'm actually talking about it. And I wanted to know, would it interest you for you to see me actually edit a video real time live next week? Because I kind of wondered, is it going to be useful at all? Because most of you probably don't use Premiere. There are a lot of programs that work the same way, but well, of course, Big Bear, he uses Premiere. Okay, so it would. Yeah, he's still okay. Kitty, calm down, sister. Calm down. We got it. Take it off the button. We're gonna get there. We're all coming over to see Grandpa. I know. Just relax. Relax, sister. Okay, because I figured out how to do it, and I think it will be helpful even for people who don't use Premiere, because the principles are all the same. Everything's the same. If you're even using Movie Maker, the principles are the same. You have a timeline, and you have a media pool, and then you have cuts, and
Right.
it's all just about learning your buttons. Okay? And by buttons, I mean, I want to cut. How do I cut?
Right.
And it's going to be different in certain programs, but actually, a lot of them use the same quick keys. A lot of them use the same quick keys.
Yeah.
And so, okay, it sounds to me like I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it next week. I'm actually going to record a video during Thursday, during my daytime. We're going to edit it. You're going to see it. You can ask questions. What the heck are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
Right.
How did that happen? And then it'll go live on Friday.
You might have to have 2 monitors up here for that.
No, I got this, baby. I got this.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Cockeyed, yeah. And you know what? You're right. Video editors do think differently. They all do. They approach it differently. Everybody approaches it. I need to print up a sheet for the quickies. JM says, and I'll tell you what, JM, the thing is this. What I have found, yeah, hotkeys are a blessing from God. What I've found is that I only really use about 8 of them. Because there's a quick key for everything, but you don't use them because 90% of the stuff is I'm cutting, I'm moving, I'm dragging, I'm dropping, I'm titling, and we need more correct and precise editing. Yeah, Movie Maker doesn't do it. It doesn't? Huh. That is surprising to me and actually disappointing.
Yeah.
So
well,
maybe
it's a free program, right?
Yeah, it is a free program.
Yeah,
so tedious. It is.
I should look on them.
Got to finish packing. De Jesus, congratulations on your awesome blessing in your family. And guys, don't forget to pray for our new friends down in Florida who will be entering the Homestead Network ASAP. We are heading over to Grandpa's farm. I've got Control F, Control P. My most important ever quick key is Control Z.
Undo.
Whoa, what did I just do? Control Z.
Go away. Go back.
And if you don't know what Control Z is, it's undo.
It is going to be your best friend.
Alt F4.
No, don't push that.
He's a dork.
No, don't ever push that one.
Yeah, he knows what that is.
I know.
Well, clearly. But so we're gonna go over there and we're gonna see. I will cover it next week, Minuteman.
Okay.
Gonna get off so that I do not tread upon Grandpa's farm. And so there it is. You guys have a great night.
Good
Love
night,
you all.
everybody.
Night all. Goodbye.